I'm not sure what this task is about, but I just ended it. This journey is enough. Enough already. I can't. I won't do this. I ended its prosperity. There's no prosper here. I severed the tie. There's no more currency in this part of my life that certainly redefined my place in the world. My displacement has been such a long, ongoing pile of dung. A friend who was there, I mean, at the time it happened, he was there. Who should have known better? Asked me just 2 days ago. 2 days ago. Do it. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't even think I know now what hit me. But it did. I really, there really aren't words for this. Believe me, I've been looking, but it took a very long, full day. A day where I did almost nothing but examine what that question was doing there. I had to hear it, what it meant all these years later, and how to respond. I mean, even viscerally, it was enough.
What are you talking about? What task? Is it a metaphor or are you are you talking about what happened in college?
Please pay attention. Just just listen for a minute, please. Okay? How long have you known me?
A long time. But you never talk about this, so I
So you know I don't give it oxygen, but it's there. And I absolutely choose to move forward. And the years it took me to be able to accomplish that. So why now? Why did he ask me that question now? What the absolute hell was that about?
well, but I mean that's pretty messed up. But aren't you over it now?
Oh, please, don't be that person.
I mean, it's been a really long time. You can't live in the past. It's not good to wallow.
Wallow. I don't live in the past any more than you live in yours. Get me? So back off and don't preach to me. And who's wallowing? This isn't wallowing. This just happened 2 days ago. I didn't ask for this memory to get jump back started into my life. I didn't ask for this conversation. I didn't ask for this. I'm not responsible. My past, I hate it. It's unchangeable, just like yours, just like anyone's. Do you even be don't even begin to attempt to minimize what you will never even come close to experiencing. Don't presume to go there. It's an insult. It's a vastly ignorant, obscenely insensitive, conceited insult to the fear, the pain, the trauma, all it put me through and it took from me.
Okay. Oh God. Right. Okay. Right. I am sorry. I didn't mean. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I have this friend of mine, this friendly acquaintance who lived right next door to me at the time, asked me just 2 days ago if it, all these years later, all this time, and we've never talked about this. What the hell? The absolute living hell.
Did he?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't I've tried so many times to put myself back there and I can't see the face. I only remember the arms lifting me off the bed. It's in the deepest sleep. He put me on the floor. I thought I was dreaming, so you don't fight. You think you're asleep, and then you very quickly realize you are awake. And even faster, you realize this is not a dream. You're really awake. Oh my God. Oh my dear God. Help me, Jesus. I'm awake. Oh shit. What's happening? What do I do? What do I do?
I can't imagine.
I couldn't either.
Well, what did you do?
Remember, I was shouting myself in the head to scream. To scream. To scream. All the while his hands are all over my face, my neck, and I'm hyperventilating. I'm trying to scream out, but nothing came. Just a squeak eventually.
Dear God.
I got enough noise out that my roommate heard me and woke up and reached for me and said my name.
Oh God.
With that, he got up. He got off me.
But you saw him, right? I mean, didn't you see him? Did you remember?
No, I can't. It's dark and I'm night blind as it is, and there was a hall light on, so as he left the room, he was backlit. Just a silhouette in darkness. Just black darkness. I couldn't see.
I get it.
I... Thank you.
Did you call the police? I mean, I assume you did.
Well, yeah, but my roommate thought I had a bad dream. She asked me what the dream was about. And I couldn't compute that. I was trying to say that someone was here and I wanted my mom, and I was shaking, trying to tell her.
And
And then we turned on the lights.
yes.
We turned the lights on and we saw. We both saw it was clear someone had been there.
Why? You never told me this part. What happened?
We saw that our closets were messed up. And the top drawer of my beret was open and gone through, and my bandana scarf that I'd fold in a square. I folded it in a square and put it in the basket of clean laundry at the foot of my bed was missing.
You don't have to hide. You can show your face. Show me. It was missing. What did it mean? What did that mean?
Well, we found it.
Okay.
We found it under my pillow, all rolled up like a Boy Scout scarf that they used to tie around their necks in full uniform, you know, around their necks.
Oh my God. It's horrifying. It's just so.
Then we found twine on the floor where I'd been fighting them. It hadn't been there before. We didn't have any.
Oh my God.
Then I heard this person screaming. This was such a high-pitched scream, Only I didn't know who it was.
Uh, your roommate?
Me.
Oh, what? Why did you think your neighbor from way back then asked you now if he'd done it?
I don't, I just don't know.
It's pretty creepy, isn't it? I mean, why would he ask that? I mean, were you asking him about it?
No, we, he often brought up the past, but not this part of it. We never talked about it.
So then he blurts out, "Did I do it?" What the actual?
Right? Right. I don't understand. I thought for a minute this was going to become actually a really amazing cathartic thing. And I said as I said as much because we never talked about this. And then we are, and I'm thinking, what's going on? But this is good. It's good to expunge with someone who was there, to someone who was there then and knew me then. And I was just thinking, what is God doing? This is amazing and unanticipated. And then he takes a sharp corner in this conversation and blurts out, "Did I do it?" This is the worst emotional whiplash. How could, how, how could he? Why did he? I mean, am I awake right now? Is this really happening too?
Maybe. Do you think it's possible he was confessing? I mean, you told me he drinks, right? And when people drink, they blurt out all kinds of stuff they never, or might never do when, I mean, he was drinking.
Yeah, I could tell he was. Whenever we talk, which isn't that often, he's always got his glass nearby. I could hear the familiar ice cubes clinking against his glass. His long chugs. I hated it. I always hated that. But I felt sorry for him because he was going to rehab. He'd been to rehab a few times, and I thought he was, you know, okay. But I knew it's patiently obvious. I know he's lost a lot of friends because of it.
Right. This just gives me the weirdest feeling. I mean, what's the point of him asking questions after how many years has it been? Right? Like, could he finally be getting rid of the guilt conscious? Or, I mean, that's just so creepy. So weird.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the point? This is so weird in a deeply serious, fucked up way. Did you bring it up or him?
Well, he'll refer to the past often, but not the incident itself. I really don't know how we got there.
Right? But do you think it was him? Did you ever consider he was your next door neighbor and maybe didn't you once say that he was next door and told the police he'd heard a commotion and thought you were having a nightmare? And that's why he didn't come over.
It never entered my brain.
Because if you couldn't get any noise but a squeak out, how did he hear? How did he know?
Oh, you're good. I never even thought of that. All this time, I never. It, he could have heard me screaming. He could have meant that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe. I get it. This is absolutely the weirdest and creepiest, and it's just really terrible. God, I understand. What are you gonna do? I mean, what do you want to confront him or I mean, do you want to confront him or anything?
I already did.
What? What did you do? Did you call him or
I left a voice text because I honestly didn't want to hear his voice again. I didn't want to have any more taking a razor blade to an old scar. It was such a brutal affront to bring this up and ask that question. What kind of question was that? Who does that? Why?
I hear that. That must have been a hard message to leave. It must have been hard to leave that message.
It should have been, but it actually wasn't after all.
How? Really? Can you tell me?
Well, I spoke with some very good friends about it who were good enough to hear me out right away, to understand this was enormous. It's really great to be validated in the immediate. When someone hears you, you can start to make some sense of your thoughts, and well, I could hear myself.
Right. That's great. Baby, you don't have to hide from me. You could show me yourself. I mean, but that's great that they were there for you. What did they say?
Well, a lot, but it was more about what conclusion I was able to come up with because of it. I needed to end this friendly acquaintance that at the end of the day has always been a little toxic. I just hadn't examined it enough because we weren't always in touch. I think I disavowed the impact. I wasn't focused there, but it gave me, well, I just had a clear view, very clear, very swift, and very significant response. And because I was able to sound that out, I could hear them, my friends. I could hear myself. Kind of like when I kept telling myself to scream.
Good. That's really good. That must have been kind of cathartic for you. So, what did he do? What happened?
I screamed.
You what? Really? Oh my God. What did you say? That's gotta be
I didn't really scream, but I just realized I made enough of a noise. I was going to be heard. I found my ability to respond again, to take back control, and I said what I felt about that conversation. I told him I'm releasing this friendship. I told him his question was a wild one, and that I asked him if he did do it. Because why bring it up at all? I told him how it affected me, and I wondered why, and the timing, and it was all so shocking and wrong. And this, that this was the time for me to release, to let go of him. The impact was too great and thoughtless and completely inappropriate. I said I knew he was drinking. He asked the question twice. I started to cry because this conversation wasn't going where I thought it would, and it was absolutely shocking and triggering. And then he ended the conversation because he was uncomfortable. That's right. Reopen the wound and then squeamish. You're squeamish because of the blood. That's how you treat your friend? You want to make this about me? That it is. It happened to me. You want to make this about you? You can't. You're uncomfortable? Too bad. Too goddamn bad. Did you do this? You did this. And I can't believe what you just did to me. I can't believe this is your drunken mind just shocking my life backwards like that. And you want me to validate you. This is not okay. This is sick. And you don't get a free pass because you're a sad, old, toxic guy hanging on to a very strange nostalgia. Words like that. And then I blocked him.
That's just, this is really, literally mind-blowing. I mean it. No words.
It's been there. I believe I'm done with that.